You know it's this. Take a perk and a talk of that shit. Money swallowed like sis. Did it perfect in the kid. Got a billion who sang on my head. Look me better put on the road I just spent. I know we got $1 million. The devil that shit ain't not cheaper than again.
Hello and welcome back, fellow anime lovers, to MangaMuse. I am delighted to have you join us once again in the world of fanfiction and fantasy. This is the first part of What If Naruto Enters Batman Beyond? Special note, this fanfic is written and a masterpiece of KFB Anime 87 on fanfiction.net. Do check and support the author too. Now smash the like, share and subscribe button for more. Also press the bell icon so that you never miss such great parts. Thanks for the introduction. Now let's dive into the world. Neo Gotham City 8 years before episode Rebirth. A small child ran through the back alleys of the crime-infested city, smuggling something in his tattered orange hoodie as he ran. This child was a blonde boy named Naruto Uzumaki. "Get back here you punk!" A loud male voice shouted as multiple heavy footsteps rushed after the child. "Gotta find a place to hide," the child, an 8-year-old boy thought as he ran and ran. Surviving on the streets of Gotham was hard for anyone, but for a child it was even harder. Especially nowadays without Gotham's heroes of the old days. The boy ran down another alleyway and found a large dumpster. He quickly jumped inside it and closed it on himself as he heard rushing footsteps run past the dumpster. "They're gone," the boy thought as he looked at what he had stolen. Some bread. A godsend meal for a starving child on the streets of Gotham. Before the boy could enjoy his food, the dumpster suddenly opened and he found himself grabbed out of the dumpster. "Did you think we would fall for that old trick, brat?" A man dressed in a jester-like outfit bellowed at the boy as he picked him up and slammed him into the alley wall. "You think you can steal from the Joker's boy?" Another man dressed like a French mime shouted in a French accent. "I just wanted some food," the boy groaned from the pain of being slammed into a wall. "Your parents should have taught you better, brat." "Frenchie, hand me your knife," the jester man told his mime-dressed partner. "Here you go, Punchy. Give that brat a nice smile," Frenchie said, handing a stiletto knife to his friend. "Thanks. Any last words?" Punchy asked the boy. "You both look like idiots," Naruto said with a defiant look. "A comedian, huh? Let's see that smile," Punchy shouted before some harsh footsteps cut off his actions. "Picking on kids? That's just sad and pathetic. Then again, considering you jokers are a pale imitation at best of the original, it's not that unsurprising," an older man said, walking towards them with a harsh look on his face. "And who are you, old man?" Finchi asked. The old man pulled out a pistol and aimed it between the Joker's eyes. "Your death," the old man said, and pulled the trigger. Bang! A bullet ripped through the air and embedded itself in between Frenchie's eyes. "Frenchie!" Punchy yelled, shocked at seeing his partner killed before his eyes. Bang! Another bullet ripped through the air and slammed into Punchy's arm, holding Naruto against a wall. In agonizing pain he dropped the boy and grabbed his bleeding arm. "Now I want you to tell your fellow jokers that if any of you are seen in this neighborhood again, you will join this piece of garbage," the old man said as he kicked the body of Frenchie. "You done F up, old man. We jokers will come for you," Punchy shouted. "Good point, I guess I don't want you telling them, huh?" the old man said, walking towards him and pointed the gun at Punchy's forehead. "Why dash," Punchy started to say before. Bang! The jester-like man fell to the ground dead as Naruto looked on in shock. "You alright, kid?" the old man asked the boy as he holstered his old school pistol. "Why yeah, thanks mister," Naruto said in surprise as he did just watch the man kill people. "No problem. You should probably get home, kid," the old man said as he started to walk away. "I don't have one though," Naruto mumbled sadly. He was hurt, however, as the old man stopped, having heard that. "You have nowhere to go, huh?" the old man asked as a memory of him as a kid meeting a certain bat went through his mind. "Yeah. My parents were killed 2 years ago. I've been on my own ever since, Naruto said as he wasn't really sure why he was divulging this to the old man, but he felt something from him. Something that made him trust him. Come with me, the old man said. Naruto followed the old man into a nearby apartment building. What's your name, kid? The old man asked. Naruto, what's yours? Naruto asked. Call me Jason, kid. I have something I want to ask you. First of all, do you know who killed your parents? Jason asked as his past had him entering what he called his vigilante mode out of habit. No. They worked at Wayne Powers and they told me to run when some men broke into our house. Naruto told him. Powers, Jason thought with a scowl. He had issues with that scumbag the second he made a name for himself. Second question, how old are you? Jason asked. 8, Naruto answered as they entered the apartment. 8 years old and murdered parents. Deja vu, Jason thought of his adopted father as well as his own past. Last question dash, Jason was saying but suddenly started to cough harshly. Hey, you okay? Naruto asked. Need my medicine, Jason said pointing to a nearby pill bottle before coughing more. Naruto quickly handed the old man the bottle and Jason took a pill and looked at his hand. No BLD this time, Jason thought. Thanks. Last question, how would you feel about helping me out around the apartment here? I can't exactly keep this place clean in my old age. You do and I'll give you my extra room, Jason asked the boy wanting to see his reaction. Naruto smiled and nodded at this before Jason handed him a broom and dustpan. Knock if you need anything, Jason said walking into his room and leaving Naruto by himself. Now let's see if you're the one who is worthy, Jason thought as he was intending for Naruto to discover his secret. Something about this kid drew him to him. He wanted to know what. Is this how you felt with us, old man? Jason thought in reminiscence. A few weeks later. Naruto was cleaning the apartment since Jason was out running errands. Well, it's better than the streets, Naruto thought aloud as he moved some boxes to clean behind a nearby bookshelf before noticing something. Is this a hidden doorway? Naruto said confused seeing a door outline behind the bookshelf. Why would he have a hidden doorway? Naruto asked himself before investigating the bookshelf. He wanted to make sure he wasn't hallucinating or anything. He noticed a small button on the bookshelf and clicked it in curiosity. The bookshelf slid to the left as a secret door opened behind it. What the dash? Naruto asked. Freaked out before walking through the doorway. As he stepped through he came to a very large room. In it were various guns and weapons lining the walls. Enough to arm a small army. What is all this? Naruto asked in shock as he spotted an old uniform on the wall. It was a military vest and what looked like a red helmet in a small glass case. One with a familiar symbol for those in old Gotham. Took you long enough to find this kid, Jason said. Ah. Jason. Naruto yelped as he turned to look at the old man. I ain't mad, kid. I expected you to find it, Jason said with a smirk. Why you did? Naruto asked. Of course it ain't like it's hidden that well. Someone here long enough can always find it, Jason said as he took a seat in the room. So you were connected to the Batman? Naruto asked curiously. Ever heard of the Red Hood Kid? Jason wanted to gauge what Naruto knew if he knew before. Explaining everything he needed to. Nope, Naruto shook his head. Figures. Take a seat, kid. This'll be a long story, Jason said, gesturing to an empty chair. One explanation later. And that's the story of the Red Hood, Jason said after several hours of explaining. So you took the Joker's old persona and made it a nightmare for villains, Naruto said with a smile as he liked the idea of messing with villains. Yup. I was ruthless. I once asked Batman what he did with the ones who weren't afraid. He never answered, so I became that answer. But my old age left me unable to keep going. And Batman's disappearance 8 years ago accelerated my retirement. I couldn't keep up like I used to. Jason said sadly. Why'd you tell me all of this? Why bring me into your apartment? Why everything? Naruto asked confused. I admittedly felt a kinship with you. I lost my father when I was young before the bat took me in after I tried to steal the wheels off the Batmobile. Jason said. Hey, I wouldn't have gotten caught, Naruto said. Please you so would've, Jason said with an eye roll. Before shaking his head, anyways my point is I wanted to see if you could find this room. I wanted to see if you were who I have been searching for, Jason said. Searching for? Naruto asked confused. I have been looking for someone to take on as an apprentice. To train to maybe one day take over my old mantle. None were worthy, and then out of nowhere a boy in a similar situation to myself as a child just lands in front of me. It's so coincidental that I'm pretty sure this is Dr. Fate's doing, Jason admitted. You want me to be a vigilante? Naruto asked in surprise. It's your call, kid. I ain't gonna force ya if you don't want to. Matter of fact, take a few days to think about it, Jason said, as he did not want to force an 8-year-old child to become a vigilante unless they were absolutely sure. I think I want to do it. The city needs it since the Batman is gone. Naruto said after a moment of processing. Then starting tomorrow we begin your training, Jason said as he stood up. Get some rest because tomorrow you're in for hell, Jason told him as he left the room. 8 years later. Naruto was in his new condo that he was able to get thanks to Jason, who had connections. He smiled sadly at the thought of his old mentor. He died a month ago. He had been fighting an illness for years which had made him search for a successor in the first place. Luckily he was able to train Naruto in Jason's own words as the perfect successor. Claiming he'd be a greater Red Hood than himself. He even adopted Naruto fully and gave Naruto his last name to use as his own. Naruto Uzumaki Todd. He even left Naruto everything he owned, which included stock in Wayne Powers. Which surprised Naruto when he got a sizable check from Wayne Powers for contributions Jason made. DMN old man looking out for me before himself, Naruto grumbled as he put a box away, moving into his new condo fully. Looking at the last box, he opened it up and smiled as he pulled out the thing he considered the most precious item his mentor gave him. An old brown leather biker jacket. The one his mentor wore for his first Red Hood outfit. He smiled as he threw on the jacket. Fits perfect, old man, he said, looking up at the sky sadly before steeling his face. Time to go to work, Naruto said as he went over to a bookcase and pulled a book, revealing a hidden passageway. Glad I set this up first. Naruto smiled happily as his secret room was the first thing he decided to set up and entered the hidden room. Inside, all of the weapons, ammo, and Red Hood gear was stored away. Naruto walked over to a glass case and looked at his own Red Hood suit. The one Jason helped make right before his passing. It was a full-body gray and black camouflage armored bodysuit with a black belt filled with ammo, knives, and grenades around his waist. On the suit itself was a red symbol that many in Gotham knew but hadn't seen in decades. Over his shoulders was a black leather jacket mixed with white leather on the arms and top of the jacket and red lining. The same symbol on the back, and a red leather hood attached to the jacket worn up over a red full face covering tech visor for him to see through. Naruto opened the case and quickly put on the suit. Smiling underneath his mask as he looked in the mirror. DMN, I look good, he said before walking over to a wall and pulling off 2 laser fire pistols. Time to bust some heads, Naruto said as he quickly holstered the pistols with a flourish. Later that night. Naruto was on a rooftop in Gotham. Somebody help me. A woman's voice shouted from an alleyway. Quiet B. This all could have been nice if you'd gone along with us for some fun, but now we're taking your CC Peach whether you like it or not. A male voice shouted down the same alleyway. Naruto looked down to see 3 men surrounding a mature redhead woman. Hold her down, boys. We're gonna have fun tonight. One said to his buddies with a sick grin on his face as he held up a knife. Naruto pulled out his guns and jumped down silently behind. Let's free those tips first, baby, the man holding the knife said disgustingly before suddenly. Bang! Gunfire sounded as a laser blast ripped through the hand of the thug holding the knife as everyone turned to the sound of heavy footsteps. You know, it's really pathetic that you guys need to RPE a woman to get your rocks off. What was a HKR not available? Naruto questioned as the light of the moon shined upon him from revealing himself. The F are you? The man holding his bleeding hand. Who am I? It's quite simple. I'm Gotham's fear back from the grave once more. I'm its judgment once more given flesh. I'm vengeance and retribution for the innocent. I'm the terror and horror for the sum of this city. Naruto said before blasting at all three thugs in their heads and splattering their brains out before turning away from the alley. Who are you? The woman questioned shakily since she was almost raped. A protector of the innocent. I'm the Red Hood. Naruto said after stopping to answer her question without looking back. He then aimed one of his pistols at the sky and fired a built-in grappling hook at the building and zipping away from the woman. The woman looked up as the Red Hood left and picked up her phone. Hey mom, what's up? You okay? A male voice asked on the other end. Yes Terry, I'm okay, I'll be home soon, the woman said before hanging up. Thank you, she said one last time looking at where her savior had been. A few days later. And with the return of the Batman, all of Gotham is wondering how things will play out for criminals in the city, a newswoman said over Naruto's TV. So the old man decided to have a new Batman too, Naruto mused. He had been making headway in reminding the city Red Hood existed and now was back, but news of the returning Batman had overshadowed him. Ah well, Jason always told me as long as work gets done, fame doesn't matter, Naruto mused before looking out at the night sky. Better get suited up, Naruto said as he threw on his suit before heading to the rooftops once more. Most of his targets had been gang members and horrific criminals like rapists. He mainly saved the lethality for those who truly deserved it, like rapists or serial killers. Simple gang members weren't really worth killing. Unless they were selling DRGs to kids. Then they deserved a laser in between the eyes. Naruto surveyed a group of jokers breaking into a Oxteca building. Great, some jokers my favorite punching bags, Naruto said as he took out some smoke pellets and set his laser pistols to stun. He used his grapple hook and made his way into the air vents of the building. You sure this place is worth breaking into? A female, orange-haired joker asked, standing next to a boy that looked like the Scarecrow from Gotham's old days. She was soon joined by an identical-looking female joker to her. They both had high DD cup melons, plump asses, and curvy bodies. Twins? Why are the hot ones villains? Naruto thought as he checked the twins out. Look DD, unless you got a place to get some of those sonic emitters, let me do my job, the Scarecrow boy said as he was hacking a computer. Why do we need these things anyway? Most buyers avoid our gang when it comes to buying tech, one of the DDs said. Who cares, they're paying good credits. Ghoul, where are those things? A clown-masked man in a pink leotard asked the Scarecrow-looking guy. Chucko, you and I both know that nobody is gonna trust a gang of jokers for tech when they can get it more reliable from the mob, the other DD said. Smart girls, Naruto thought with a smile behind his mask. Are you questioning my decisions? Chucko asked angrily. Yeah, just go guard the door, make sure your asses bounce while you walk, Ghoul said with a smirk. You perverted son of a bit dash, a DD was saying before suddenly an alarm went off. Good job, the other DD said with a flat tone at Chucko. Welp, guess we're not getting the emitters now, Chucko shrugged before pulling out a gun. Unfortunately for you two, we need someone to take the fall for us, Chucko said, cackling. Looks like Nana was right, huh DD, one of the twins asked. Yeah, this group are just punks who use a dead guy's name to pretend they are important, the other twin said. Quiet where? Chucko growled before firing at the twins with his pistol. Suddenly Naruto dropped down and landed next to the DD twins, firing one of his pistols at Chucko's gun and sending it flying away. Out late for a school night, huh boys and girls? Naruto asked. Oh ho, looks like the Red Hood is more than a story, one of the twins said with a smile. It appears so. The other twin also smiled. Ghoul, how long till the cops get here? Chucko asked seriously. Around 5 minutes, Ghoul answered. Oh good, I'll be done in 3, Naruto said as he pulled out another blaster and started unloading laser fire at Chucko and Ghoul. SHT. Call bonk. We gotta go. Chucko growled angrily. Roger that, Ghoul said as he started running away, contacting the rest of the crew for a pickup. Too bad we're on a time limit. Would have been fun to F those SLTS here and leave M for the cops after killing you. But I suppose we'll all meet again down the road, Chucko said as he reached into his leotard for something. Naruto took aim at Chucko and fired and nailed the fat clown in. Ag. You shot me in the PP. Chucko screamed in anguish. I mean, it was probably tiny, so I'm thinking I did women everywhere a favor, Naruto quipped. FBSTRD. Chucko screamed while the DDs laughed at his agony. He pulled out from his leotard what he was originally reaching for. A grenade. Chucko tossed it at the DDs before bolting, Def die. He growled. Get back. Naruto yelled at the twins as the clown threw the grenade. Naruto pushed the 2 clown girls through the steel doors before they closed and they heard a loud explosion. You two okay? He asked, realizing his hands had accidentally copped a feel on their melons when he pushed them out. And was currently still GRPNG them. Oh, such a naughty vigilante, one of the twins MMM. Just so you know stud, we share everything, the other twin MMM out. Naruto did not have a response to this. What would Jason do in this situation? Naruto thought to himself. Probably F them stupid, Jason's voice sounded in his head. Naruto instantly got up. We need to get out of here, he said to the 2 girls as he helped them up. Right, oh Mr. R, a twin said, saluting him. Mr. R. Naruto asked, genuinely confused. Yeah, we are looking for a new gig. You want some help cracking criminal skulls? A twin asked. Or maybe you would prefer 2 twins being your juice dumpsters, the other said. As fun as that sounds, how do I know you're trustworthy? Naruto asked seriously. Oh, I'm sure we could do something to prove we are trustworthy. Besides, those assholes left us for dead. What do we get by lying to you? One of the twins asked. Okay, where is the Joker's hideout? Naruto asked. There are several actually, but ours was at the old amusement park in Old Gotham, a twin said. And the others? Naruto asked. We have seen them and we may be willing to tell you if you reward us, the other twin flirted out. Before Naruto could respond, he heard some sirens. Okay, follow me and don't give me an excuse to take you down, he said seriously. You sure you wouldn't like to take us down between your legs? A twin smirked as they followed him. Naruto sighed at this as he led them to the vents. Rooftop. Naruto and the twins exited the vents and made it to the rooftop. DMN, that was cramped, a twin groaned. Yeah, my rack made it almost impossible to get through there, the other said. Don't forget our ass is DD, the other smirked. The cops are here, so get moving, Naruto said. How, Mr. R? We don't have grapple. Hey, one twin yelled as Naruto picked up both twins and put them on his shoulders before he ran and jumped. At least F us before we die, a twin yelled. Yeah, we don't want to die virgins. The other screamed. We already made it to another building, girls, Naruto deadpanned as he landed as they were screaming. Before the twins could answer, they saw a police hover car approaching. Keep moving, Mr. R, one of them yelled. Naruto nodded as he threw down a smoke grenade and ran, still carrying the 2 twins. He jumped from building to building carrying them until he finally was far enough away out of the police perimeter. Later in Naruto's underground base. Woo! That was wild. A twin giggled like crazy as soon as Naruto brought them to base. Okay, I got 2 crazy clown chicks after my PP and wanting to become my partners. I'll admit, not what I thought would happen today, Naruto thought to himself. Nice base, Mr. R. You have a lot of weapons, the other twin said, looking around at all the weapons and ammo. Yeah, you looking to go to war? The first twin asked. Always, Naruto said resolutely, as he preferred being prepared for war than not being prepared. So how we gonna do this? A twin asked flirtily as he leaned forward, jiggling her melons. You two are gonna stay in here while I decide how to deal with you both, Naruto told them. Don't be too long, we may get bored quickly, the other twin said breathily. Naruto rolled his eyes and went into an elevator and went upstairs. Hey, a twin said as she approached the elevator but saw that it wouldn't open without a code. Oh, relax sis, we can hack that within minutes, the other twin stated. Or I can try number sequences 1, 1, 1, 1. The first twin exclaimed. Oh, move you loon, the other twin said with a laugh as she approached the keypad and pushed her sister over. And it's open, she said after a few minutes of typing. Nice work DD, the twin said, clapping. The twins then entered the elevator and went upstairs. Later with Naruto. Naruto walked out of his shower and towards his room, thinking about what he should do with the twins he had in his base. I suppose I could give them a chance, but I'll need to learn their real names first, he thought as he entered his room. As soon as he entered though, he stopped in utter shock at the sight on his bed. Both twins were on his bed, one straddling the other and the one on her back grabbing her sister's peach, as they both looked at Naruto with lust-filled eyes. So that's what you look like under the mask, Mr. R, a twin said in glee. Definitely a cutie, the other said in glee. How did you two get up in my condo? Naruto asked. We can hack some tech, sweetie. That door was easy, a twin said proudly. And we love your condo, but you need a woman's touch, the other twin said as she gripped her sister's peach. I have no response to any of this, groaned out, grabbing his nose. Unfortunately, he used the hand holding up his towel out of habit and his towel fell to the floor. The twins smiled brightly at the sight of Naruto's PP. Oh ho ho, looks like Mr. R is a real man DD, one twin said. Yeah, but he looks to be in pain DD, the other twin said as they watched Naruto's PP twitch. Let's help him then, the first twin said happily, licking her lips. Naruto paused at this and felt like he should walk away, but thought it was CC twins who both wanted him. This was never gonna happen again. Naruto nodded at this. Fine, you two want me to F you, I will, but I want your real names now, he said in a DM tone. Delia Dennis, the twin on her back, responded immediately. Deirdre Dennis, the twin straddling Delia, said. I'm Naruto, and if we do this you're my girls for good, Naruto said as he got on the bed. Sounds good to me, Mr. N. Delia said happily in a Harley Quinn-like voice and accent. What do you want us to do, Mr. N? Deidre asked. Make out with each other and strp each other, Naruto ordered. Oh, you want us to put on a show for you? Deirdre asked lustfully before grabbing Delia by the back of her head and pulling her into an intense, tongue-swapping make-out session. Their of pleasure loudly entered Naruto's ears, making him growl lustfully. I said strp too, Naruto growled through his teeth as the two were just making out at the moment. Ah, so impatient, Delia as she let her tongue hang out. If we're taking too long, why don't you just strp us yourself, big boy? Deirdre asked him with a smirk. Because I like your outfits and don't want to destroy them, Naruto said, growling, trying to contain himself. Oh fine, Delia said before grabbing her sister's shorts and pulling them down for Naruto to see her red thong-covered peach. Meanwhile, Deirdre pulled her sister's tube top off, revealing a similar colored red BR. Even twin underwear? Naruto growled, really using all his willpower to not tackle them. Oh, I think he has a twin fantasy, Deirdre, Delia said with a mischievous smile as she pulled off her sister's tube top. I think you're right, Delia, Deirdre returned her sister's grin as she helped her sister out of her shorts. The twins then went to take off their heeled boots. Keep them on, Naruto growled. Does Mr. N want us to look like salty clown hoopers? Deirdre asked with a smirk. You're not hoopers, Naruto said as he grabbed at their BR-clad melons in a rough grope. He's right, sis. Hoopers need money. For him I'll do this for free every day, Delia MMM. I can't wait anymore. Who wants to go first? Naruto growled out as he groped Delia's melons and Deirdre's peach. Rock paper scissors. Deirdre asked through her to her sister. Or who can drink up the most juice? Delia smirked. You want to do him first? Deirdre asked. Of course. I bet he tastes great. And I want to see him paint me even more white, Delia said with a shudder. Fine, whoever eats the most of my first juice gets to be my woman first. Now get to work, Naruto growled as he was tired of their talking and wanted them to start eating. Yay! Delia cheered before immediately engulfing her mouth around his large pages. Her black lipstick smeared along his pee as she ate on his length. Hey, no fair, Delia. Deirdre yelled as Delia immediately dove for his pee without warning. He's plenty big for both of us, sis, Dyla said as she liked Naruto's pee with each word. True, he's gonna be a fun time when he F us both, Deirdre said as she got on the opposite side of Naruto's pee and liked at his. Hey, remember what Nana told us? Delia asked as she massaged Naruto's TSTCLS. If we F a guy together, make sure he's got the stamina. Deirdre asked before kissing his pee head. No, the other thing, Delia said with a giggle as she felt his TSTCLS pulse. Oh, when you find a guy to F you, make sure he F you till your mind breaks and become his SLV, Deirdre said with a smirk. Yeah, if we are gonna share a man, he better be man enough to make us both submit, Delia said. What do you say, Mr. N? You man enough to make your fantasy come true and break some twin SLTS? Deirdre asked from a smirk. Prepare for my seed, Naruto groaned as he pulled back and started to beat his pee hard. Delia and Deirdre opened their mouths wide and stuck out their tongues ready to accept his offering. Enjoy. He groaned as he let out his leak all across their white painted faces and their melons. Oh, so warm. Deirdre as she felt the juice leak into contact with her face and melons. Delia meanwhile was already gulping down his seed like a woman possessed. Chugging down his juices like water. Naruto watched as the twins cleaned themselves and felt himself harden again. Delia was currently liking and eating the juices off her own melons while Deirdre was liking the juices off her face. Swirling her tongue. Naruto growled as he grabbed Delia and threw her onto his bed. This mean I win, Mr. N? Delia asked with a grin as Naruto got on top of her and she wrapped her legs around his hips. I don't care, I want you now, Naruto growled as he thrusted his pee into her pee, destroying her virginity. Delia screamed as she felt him widen her TWT from his massive pee. F, you're tight. Naruto groaned at the feeling of her tight scent wrapping around his pee. He then felt Deirdre hug him from behind, squishing her melons on his back. Then break her in so she can take it, she whispered to Naruto before she licked behind his ear. Naruto started to jackhammer into Delia's pee roughly as Deirdre nibbled at his ear and neck. Squishing her melons and moving them up and down his spine. Ah! You're so big, Mr. N, Delia out. Call me Naruto, he groaned out as he pulled her into a kiss. Ah, but we like calling you Mr. N, Delia groaned before screaming at a hard move. I think he actually likes us and that's how he shows it, sis, Deidre said with a smile. You of your clown twins. Delia out as Naruto thirsted hard into her. Let's not go that far yet. We just met, Naruto growled. So there's hope? Deirdre asked with a smirk. Naruto nodded as he leaned forward and started to SCK on Delia's neck, hoping to mark her. Good, cause we want to keep getting ruined by this bee breaker. We'll even find some more bees for you to break after you break us. Delia out with her tongue hanging out from pure pleasure. Naruto panted as he felt his release coming. It's safe to leak inside, he asked. Go ahead, stud, we use BRTHCNTRL, Deirdre whispered into his ear. Even if we didn't, we would still want you to leak inside, she said before licking his cheek like a pet. Fill me up, stud. Delia as her CLMX was coming close. Naruto shouted out as he climaxed inside Delia's tight pee. Yes. Delia shouted as she released her own CLMX. As the two lovers panted for breath, Naruto leaned forward and kissed Delia, making her giggle at how sweet he was being. A gal could get used to this, Mr. N. Delia giggled, still experiencing her own CLMX as her peach twitched and spasmed. I hope you have energy for me, you put on a good show and I want to play too, Deirdre said with a fake pout before screaming as she felt a slap to her peach, making it jiggle. Show me that peach, I want to see it clap as I wreck your PP, Naruto growled as he got off of Delia. Deirdre smiled before getting on her hands and knees next to her still orgasming sister. Leak and rev me up, stud. Deirdre giggled, shaking her peach for his viewing. Oh, I am going to do more than rev you up. I am going to ride you until you break. Naruto said before in one motion slammed his PP ball deep into her PP with no warning, making Deirdre scream in pure pleasure from something entering her version PP. Ah. Just as tight as your sister, Naruto growled as he slapped Deirdre's peach cheek, leaving a red mark. Ah. Spank me more. I've been a bad girl, she mmm. Such a salty clown, bouncing your peach for her MSTR. Naruto growled as he smacked her peach cheeks with each move. Ah. 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 With each slap, Deirdre mmm, as each slap brought her closer and closer towards him. Naruto noticed that her wig was starting to fall off and paused. You're a blonde? He asked, surprised. We both are, Delia answered, panting still from her F from before. How do you have long hair when your wig is short? Naruto asked, genuinely curious. Trade secret. Deirdre mmm out as she looked at Naruto over her shoulder. Maybe if you make me leak hard enough I'll tell you, she said mmm with her tongue hanging out with drool escaping her mouth. Gah. I have such naughty girls, Naruto groaned as he continued to F Deirdre. Ah. I'm almost there. Deirdre screamed after a particularly harsh move and slapped to her peach. Me too, Naruto growled. Please give it to me. Deirdre begged. F. Naruto groaned as he fired his seed and gripped her peach cheeks hard. Yeah, see. Deirdre screamed as she climaxed hard, her wig fully falling off from her orgasm, revealing her hair in twin pigtails hidden under the orange wig. Wait a minute, Naruto panted as he recognized the style of hair. He surprised Mr. N. Delia asked as she removed her own wig, revealing her same hairstyle. No, but I'm curious. What's your nana's first name? Naruto having a hunch. Harleen, but everyone calls her Harley, Deirdre panted as she still was recovering. Oh, if I just banged Harley Quinn's relatives, he muttered in shock and arousal. No one, not even Jason, knew, but he had a huge crush on a lot of Batman and Red Hood's old female rogues. Especially Harley. Hey, he had to deal with studying Old Encounters for 8 years. Of course he'd probably get a crush on some of the tight clothes wearing women of the past. Oh. I felt your PP twitch, Deirdre mmm out. Well, can you blame me? It's not every day you can claim to have not only F twins but twins related to Harley F. Quinn. Naruto said. Well, get used to it, stud, as that's going to be a daily thing for you from now on, Delia said. Good, cause I'm not done with you too, by the way, Naruto growled as he reached forward and grabbed Deirdre's pigtails and pulled back on them as he thirsted with new vigor. Ah. Does someone have a thing for Harley Quinn? Deirdre asked with a giggle. Naruto said nothing as he smacked her peach hard. I think he does, sis. Want us to call you Puddin, Mr. N? Delia asked with a smirk. F. He's twitching in the deepest part of me. Deirdre screamed as she felt him move into her like a wild animal. That's a yes then. Go on, Puddin. F us till we can't move. Delia giggled. Naruto panted as he started to sweat. You're mine. Say it, he growled as he pulled on Deirdre's hair. I'm yours, Puddin, Deirdre mmm out as she felt her next CLMX coming. She knew she and her sister would be submitting, so why put it off? Yup, we're yours Mr. N, so be sure to treat us right, Delia said as she kissed Naruto's cheek. Naruto growled as he pulled Delia into a savage kiss and he fired another juice into Deirdre, making her scream in pleasure. Naruto let Deirdre fall off his PP before placing Delia on her hands and knees above her. If you can move Deirdre, then eat her out. If not, then just lie still saying my name over and over again. Naruto said with a smirk before impaling himself inside Delia's CNT. Deirdre slowly turned her head to see her sister being plowed in a doggy-style position right on top of her. Ah! So good. Delia MMM from Naruto's rough THRSTS. Before long, however, she screamed as Deirdre used that moment to get under her and stick her tongue out and lick her CLT. Liking where Naruto's PP was thirsting in and out of. I have such good girls, Naruto groaned as he was reaching his limit once again between Deirdre's tongue and Delia's tight PP. We love to please Mr. N, the twins MMM out together as Naruto leaked inside Delia at that exact moment. Flooding her PP with juices that leaked out for Deirdre to lick up. Naruto panted and fell forward and laid down in his bed. Delia and Deirdre after a few moments cuddled up next to Naruto. Delia on the left and Deirdre on the right. That was wonderful puddin', Delia MMM out in bliss. Please F us whenever you want to, Deirdre MMM out happily as well before all three fell asleep. The next day. Naruto was awoken along with Delia and Deirdre when his condo door was booted open. The hell? Naruto shouted as he awoke due to the loud noise. Oh no, they found us. Delia shouted thinking it was the cops. Grab the guns. Deirdre shouted as the two NDE blondes sprang to life. Where are my grandbabies? A female voice shouted. Oh, it's just Nana Harley, Delia sighed before her eyes widened. OSHT, it's Nana Harley. She shouted in fear. The bedroom door was then kicked open. Oh man, I just got this place, Naruto groaned thinking he'd have to repair the doors. Holy CRP. You both found a stud. Harley shouted in shock as she saw all three of them completely NDE as they had stood up from the bed due to the noises. Ah CRP, I should have thrown on pants, Naruto groaned as he grabbed a pillow to cover himself up with. I swear if this is one of those gang punks I'll castrate him myself. Harley yelled. He's not. We promise. The twins shouted, not wanting to reveal Naruto's secret. He was barely trusting them as it is, they didn't want to reveal it to their Nana. Then why are your clown outfits on the floor? He has a thing for you back when you were young, Delia said unashamedly. Harley glared at Naruto for a moment before she laughed. Good to know I have fans, but I would have ate you alive back then, she told him with a smirk. Actually Nana, he overwhelmed us both and he was a virgin, Deirdre said. Excuse me a moment, I need to make a quick call, Harley said taking out her phone. Are you calling Nana Pam? Delia asked. She said she perfected an age-reversing serum a week ago. I may need it for reasons, Harley said. Looks like we will need to move in soon since we are gonna need a new place to live, Delia said. DMN it Pammy. The one time you don't answer your DMN phone. I need some nookie. Harley yelled, throwing her phone at the wall. Denting the wall but not the phone. I just bought this place. Naruto groaned. Oh, calm down, stud. We'll help you fix it up, Delia told him. Or you can use us to make more dents, Deirdre smirked. Okay, since I can't get a hold of Pammy, I'll leave you three for now. Have fun, don't do anything I wouldn't do. Harley said as she walked out the door. Okay, since you two want to move in, then let's go get you set up with your own stuff here, Naruto told them. Aw, you want to take us shopping? Deirdre asked with a smile. Oh dear God, what have I done, Naruto said after realizing what he suggested. Oh relax Puddin', we will make it worth it to you, Delia said with a lick of her lips at Naruto. You may want to cancel the shopping trip, a male voice cut them off as they saw an elderly man enter the apartment with a cane. Okay, it's not fossil day at my condo, Naruto groaned angrily. I am not looking out of respect for the two young ladies. I suggest you get dressed, Red Hood, the man said as he sat on Naruto's couch in the living room. Whether your ladies stay or go is irrelevant to me, the old man said seriously. Of course you'd show up today. What took you so long, old man? Naruto chuckled as he grabbed the bridge of his nose to alleviate tension. See you later, Puddin'. Delia shouted. Yeah, we have things to pick up back at home, Deirdre said. And you owe us a shopping trip. The twins yelled together as they grabbed their clothes and ran into his bathroom to change and leave. You gonna call your little helper out of hiding? Naruto asked after a moment as he got dressed and sat down in a chair facing the old man. Oh, on out, the elderly man said to what seemed like no one. However, an invisible form suddenly shifted to visibility behind the old man. Her ears are too long and I missed the cape, but not bad, Naruto said as he realized this was the new Batman in the city. So what's this about? Want me to step off your turf? Or maybe you have a problem with how I do things. Oh, I know you want a new Robin for him to fight alongside, right? Sorry, I prefer armor and leather over traffic light-colored tights, Naruto said, smirking. Batman lightly smirked at this as he had made many jokes about Robin's outfit too. Where's Jason? Bruce asked seriously with a glare, figuring that Jason was obviously involved with this, seeing as this boy had his last name and was using his moniker and weapons. He passed away. A little over a month ago, Naruto said sadly. Bruce frowned at this. Despite all of their issues in the past, Jason was still his son. Just so you know, he forgave you, Naruto said, making Bruce look at him in surprise. He never blamed you for anything that happened between you two. He would always lament his own actions but never yours. Naruto smiled sadly as Jason had told him what happened between them on multiple occasions. And why Jason finally left Gotham for a long time before returning to find his successor in Naruto. Bruce had stopped Jason from killing off a criminal who truly deserved it. Not the Joker, as he was already gone by then. But a horrid criminal that Jason was willing to put down and save many lives. But Bruce's code and morals had gotten in the way. And it cost civilians their lives. Not just any civilians but children. And Jason had blamed Bruce for it all in a rage before leaving Gotham. They never spoke again since then. And the guilt ate at Bruce to this day. So what do you need, old man? Naruto asked, wanting to get to the point. I have noticed that you have only been killing those with the worst records. Why is that? Bruce asked. Jason told me about all he did. While I do agree with him that certain criminals need to be put down. If you put down every criminal, you end up as the villain. And controlling crime like he tried in the past just makes you no better even with morals. I prefer a middle ground. I have no qualms killing rapists or the truly horrible criminals of the world. But I believe in second chances for those with lesser crimes, Naruto explained. And before you start, you have killed aliens with the Justice League, old man, so don't judge me. Besides, I could argue not killing criminals means their victims' blood is on your hands as well. Naruto said with his own glare at the elderly man. And besides, you don't want to kill, then that's fine. But I don't need that moral code as I have my own. Naruto said seriously. Bruce glared at Naruto for a few moments before he sighed. Fine, but you keep in contact with me and help him out when needed, Bruce said, pointing to the new Batman, as while he was not happy about getting Naruto to not kill, he had to remember not every hero followed that rule. Besides, if he stepped out of line, he would make sure he is brought to justice. I can see that. Anything else? Naruto asked. Yes, you're 17 and never graduated school, so dash, Bruce said. No way. Naruto yelled. You need a cover. Bruce said seriously. This alliance reflected on him and the new Batman as well. I have one. It's called being a vigilante at night and a rich orphan by day. Sound familiar? Yes, and Jason would want better for you, Bruce said. He literally told me school is for punk bees. Naruto shouted, that was literally one of his last words of advice. Besides, have you ever gone to school? Oh no, you didn't, 'cause you were too busy traveling the world learning to fight. Case closed. Not happening. Naruto fought against this decision with all his will. Unfortunately, willpower is useless in a battle against the original Batman. Do you have friends? Bruce asked boredly. Naruto paused at this. Do you? Naruto asked bitingly. You're not me, and obviously you don't want to be, Bruce said with his glare. Old man, fine. But I have demands. Naruto growled angrily. And I'm sure he'd love to hear em, but unfortunately he has a board meeting for shareholders to get to in 15 minutes, the new Batman said, so Bruce could wrap things up here. Oh good, I'm one of them, Naruto said with a smirk. Bruce's eyes widened at this. Jason said he may forgive you, but that doesn't mean he wouldn't get even, Naruto said with a laugh at the old man's face. I'll be in the car. Come down in 5 minutes. Get to know your new ally. Batman. Bruce said, not used to not being able to call himself that as he left the condo. He seems like such a nice person, Naruto said with an eye roll. Try dealing with him in your ear from now on, the new Batman said. He micromanages you when you go crime fighting? Naruto asked with a flat tone. To be fair, I don't exactly have his level of training and experience, so it makes sense, the Batman shrugged. Well, if you're that much of a greenhorn, I can help you train if you want, Naruto said. I think you'll be surprised with what I bring to the table, Batman smirked. I look forward to testing you, McGinnis, Naruto smirked. What? Batman asked in shock. Oh please, I had it figured out when I saw that the old man hired you as his gopher, Naruto rolled his eyes. You forget the original Red Hood trained me and he learned under the world's greatest detective. You pick up a few things after that. Naruto smirked. The Batman signed before pulling of his mask. Just call me Terry. Oh, and I owe you some thanks, Terry said with a smile. 4. Naruto asked. You saved my mother as your first night in Gotham as Red Hood, Terry said with a frown as his mother explained what had almost happened to her and would have happened if the boy before him didn't intervene. You owe me nothing, it's part of the job, Naruto said with a smile. Regardless, thanks. Anyways, I'd better go drive the old man, Terry said as he started to leave the building. Right behind ya, Naruto said as he had a suit he could put on before the two left for the shareholders meeting. Later. That Powers guy is a shithead, Naruto said as Terry and Bruce got into his limo. You have no idea, Terry mumbled in fury until Bruce glared at him. Want me to shoot him? Naruto asked with a smirk, gesturing to a gun under his jacket. Put it away, Bruce said. Killjoy, Naruto sighed as he put away his gun. Neither of you can go after Powers. Not unless you have proof, Bruce said. Yeah, wait for proof, Naruto said waving his hand. You could take things more seriously, Bruce said with a glare. Oh, I just act this way to make the real gray run through your hair, Naruto said with a smirk. Jason left that as part of his will if I ever crossed paths with you. Terry snorted at this and laughed. I like this guy, Terry smirked. Teenagers, Bruce said with a sigh. Oh, don't act all high and mighty, Grandpa Bat. Jason had some dirt on you as a teenager he managed to get from Pennyworth, Naruto said with a smirk. Just for that you start school tomorrow along with your twin floozies, Bruce said before having a gun pointed at his face. Reconsider calling them that, Naruto told him seriously. Note to self: don't insult Quinn's grandchildren, Bruce thought as Naruto put away his gun. I didn't even see him move to draw it, Terry thought. Side note: no weapons at school, Bruce said. No SHT, old man, I don't need those to deal with punks at a school, Naruto rolled his eyes. Sure you don't. Now keep the guns away or I'll bag them up myself. Along with your other weapons, Bruce said seriously. Geez, you're such a buzzkill, old man. You need to find something to do. I suggest sewing or bingo, Naruto smirked. My hobby is making sure Gotham is safe, Bruce said. And being a buzzkill? Terry asked. That's a bonus, Bruce said. Did you just make a joke? Terry and Naruto asked simultaneously. Bruce said nothing as they stopped by the mall. "This is your stop," he said to Naruto. Before Naruto could respond, the door opened and two girls with long blonde hair pulled him out. "Come on Naruto, we need to go shopping for school tomorrow." Delia yelled excitedly. "I've never been to school before. I'm curious if it'll have aliens or swordfish." Deirdre exclaimed, pulling him away. "Curse you, old man." Naruto yelled, being dragged away. "Have fun shopping," Bruce said as he closed the door before Terry drove off. "That was cold," Terry said to Bruce as he drove. "Make sure he doesn't make a scene at school," Bruce said. "Something tells me it's gonna happen despite my best efforts." Terry said. "Fail and I'll make your girlfriend take you on a shopping spree." "I'll even fund it," Bruce said. "Joke's on you, I don't mind shopping with Dana," Terry said with a smirk. "Then perhaps your mother and brother," Bruce said. "Point made," Terry said in defeat. The next day. "Where the hell is he?" Terry asked aloud, wondering where Naruto was, when suddenly him and the rest of the students heard loud rock music as a motorcycle parked. Play Shoot to Thrill by AC/DC. Naruto parked his motorcycle in the parking lot of the school while Delia and Deirdre rode behind him in a red flying car. "Hey McGinnis," Naruto said as he took off his helmet. "Woo, that was fun." Delia shouted as she parked the car. "Let's go again." Deirdre exclaimed happily. Suddenly a teen with red hair and a varsity jacket made his way over to a car where the twins parked. "You two skanks scratched my ride." He bellowed in anger due to their parking job, meaning their car hit his car slightly. "Oh relax jock boy," Deirdre said as she got out of the car. "Yeah, don't get your panties in a twist," Delia waved him off. Some of the male students watching Wolf whistled at the twins. "We're taken boys," the two said at once to all the students. "You two are gonna pay me back," the jock growled. "It's barely a scratch prom queen, so relax," Naruto said. "And you are?" he asked arrogantly. "New student along with my two girlfriends there, so back off," Naruto growled and made all the men realize he was with these two blonde bombshells. "You have no idea who you're talking to, do you?" the jock asked smugly. Nelson Nash. A jock who thinks he's hot SHT but in reality in an actual fight would crawl away like a pathetic little baby, Naruto said boredly. "Plus he's popular now, but after high school I bet he will be flipping burgers," Delia said. "Or a janitor," Deirdre smirked. This got oohs and laughs from the students watching. You dash, Nelson was boiling in rage. "Okay McGinnis, the old man said you would show us around on our first day, so dash." Nelson then took a swing at Naruto, but he caught the punch. "Now that was just rude, sir." "I was talking to McGinnis," Naruto said boredly before slamming. "You and your SLTS owe me money." Nelson growled. "Make him bleed Pudden," the twins yelled. "Call them something like that one more time." "See what I do," Naruto said, still holding Nelson's fist. "What's going on here?" a man in a suit called out. "Nothing sir, just a conversation," Naruto said as he let Nelson go. "This conversation ain't over," Nelson told Naruto with a glare. "Oh, I hope so." "I haven't said my side yet," Naruto told him with a smirk. Nelson glared at Naruto before he headed inside the school. "Not even 5 minutes and already making enemies," Terry said with a smirk. "To be fair, it's their fault," Naruto said, pointing at the twins. "Yeah, our bad," Deirdre said with a smile. "We will make it up to you later Pudden," Dyla said with a lusty look. "If it's any consolation, Nelson's a prick anyways." "You'd have pissed him off for ignoring his peach," Terry said. "He's gay?" the twins asked. "Ha! God, I love you girls," Naruto said with a smile. "You hear that sis, he loves us," Delia said with a grin. "Oh, I did sis, and that means we get to give him a very special treat later," Deidre said with a matching grin as both stared lustfully at Naruto. "Let's just get you to your classes," Terry said and looked at their schedules, "and they're the same exact classes I have," Terry said blankly. "The old man made you our babysitter, huh?" Naruto asked as they followed Terry inside the school. Hope that includes hazard pay, Delia said with a smirk. Oh God, what have I agreed to, Terry said deadpan as the three others laughed at him before heading to class. Foxtica. Thursday night. A lone truck drives up to the tech company building. As it parks, however, a black blob slipped out of the shadows and slithered into the main control room. It forced its way into some machinery, causing the building to start exploding in several locations. Before long the fire department arrived to put out the fire, unknowing that the blob latched onto the bottom of a fire truck. Escaping into the night. Hamilton Hill High. Friday morning. Naruto was walking out of the principal's office grumbling as he approached his locker. DMN, that old man and his bullshit. Making me leak here, he muttered. What's wrong, Mr. N? Deirdre asked as her and Delia approached him. The frigging principal decided that at the detention would help sort out my attitude when it comes to Nelson and his bullshit, Naruto grumbled. Aw, poor Naruto, maybe me and my sis can make you feel better later, Delia purred. Yeah, we have detention as well, Deirdre giggled. What did you two do? Naruto asked with a smirk, knowing the twins were mischievous. Blew up Nelson's locker after we overheard the principal give you a detention, Delia said. I love you too, Naruto said with a chuckle. My locker. Nelson was heard yelling, seeing his destroyed locker in the hallway. Ah, his suffering brings me joy, Deirdre smiled. You three really do love causing trouble, huh? A female voice said as she approached Naruto and his girls. She was a dark-skinned teen with short pink hair with a toned body, DD cup melons, she jade-wide juicy and a plump peach. Oh, a new plaything approaches, Deirdre whispered to Naruto with a giggle. Hush you two, Naruto whispered to them before he turned to the teen. Name's Naruto. Miss? He asked, hoping to get a name. Name's Maxine Gibson, but call me Max. Everyone does, the now named Max said with a smile. What can we help you with? A fursum? Delia asked. Max sputtered at this as she blushed. Ignore them, they are both bi and dating me, so yeah, they are a handful, Naruto said with a sigh. Look, I'll be quick about this. The vice principal has asked me to help you three with your studies since you three have never had any formal schooling till now. Max said. Okay, here's my address and contact info, Naruto said as he handed her a slip of paper. Very good, I'll be by tomorrow afternoon, Max said as she walked away. You thinking what I'm thinking, sis? Deirdre asked. Yup, we need to bring her into our little F club. I mean, look at that peach, Delia purred. Will you two grow up? Naruto asked with a sigh as he closed his locker. Oh, like you don't want to be baldy in her peach, Deirdre said with a smirk. Naruto looked at Max as she walked away and smirked slightly as he looked at her peach. I didn't say that, Naruto said with a smirk. You know I can still hear you three, right? Max asked without looking back. And that would stop us, why? Delia asked. Max sighed at this as she was used to these kind of comments from men. Hearing it from twin sisters was new though. After school. Naruto was sitting in Bruce's limo as Terry drove them. So Powers is sabotaging Foxtica, huh? Naruto asked. That's what it seems like, Bruce said. Okay, leave this to me and Terry, we can handle this, Naruto confidently said. You will not handle anything until I tell you to otherwise. You're both far too green to just rush into the situation, Bruce told him seriously. Oh, for F's sake. How are we supposed to learn to be vigilantes if we can't actually do vigilante missions? Naruto roared at the old man. You can stake out the place and if anything happens you can step in. Bruce told him. Works for me. Finally some action, Naruto responded cheerfully. Are you seriously that bored? Terry asked. Well yeah, if I don't get anything done I go stir crazy and the twins have to help calm me down, Naruto said nonchalantly. I don't need to hear about what you three do together, Terry groaned. Oh, don't be prude, I know you and Dana go at it hardcore. Let me guess, she pegs you, right? Naruto asked with a smirk. Please, I have her calling me daddy, hey. Mind your business. Terry yelled in realization. You're far too easy to rile up, dude, Naruto chuckled before the limo turned suddenly and made Naruto hit into the door face first. You should have buckled up, Bruce said boredly. Later that night. So how'd you get out of your date with Dana? Naruto asked as he kept watch over Foxtica. Told her I was needed by Mr. Wayne last minute, Terry told him nonchalantly. You're gonna need better excuses. Or better yet, let her and your family know, Naruto told him as he understood keeping the identity thing secret from the general public, but eventually people will discover and you're better off letting those close to you know. Bruce said. Terry was saying. Yeah, I don't care what Grandpa Bat says about that. The fact of the matter is that the people closest to you are better off knowing in case enemies go after them that do know. Naruto said. Terry said nothing as he thought to himself. Look, I'm not saying you should immediately tell her since we're just starting, but here's the reality of being a vigilante. People will find out your identity no matter how much you try to hide it. Those closest to you will be targets whether they know or not. Better to have them know than to have them die in your arms when they don't, Naruto told him. Isn't that right, Gramps? Naruto spoke into the calm. Bruce said nothing at this. Really? Just gonna ignore me on this? I thought bats had super hearing. Naruto smirked. There's movement down there, Bruce said. Finally. Showtime, baby. Naruto sprung up to his feet brandishing his laser pistols. Terry flew down with Naruto close behind with his grapple hook. DMN, I need to find a way to fly, Naruto said, a bit jealous of Terry's flight via his suit. I'm sure you can find a way around besides a grapple, Terry told him with a smirk. They both burst through a window and saw what looked like a blob of black ink turn to them as it was destroying some equipment. Alright, tall, dark, and inky. Put what constitutes as your hands up and surrender. Naruto said as he held up his guns pointed at the blob. The ink blob held up its hands before its arms elongated and slammed into him, sending him crashing into a wall. DMN tentacles. I am not a schoolgirl. Naruto yelled, making the ink blob actually falter before letting out a female chuckle. I'll admit that was a good one, she said before getting hit by a batarang and it doing nothing to her except be absorbed into her ink. Really? Throwing things? She asked as she turned her head towards Batman. Bruce, any strategies? He whispered into his comm before getting hit by a blast of ink and sent flying through a wall. Naruto took aim at the ink creature and fired a laser blast. Oh, please, you think that will, ag. It's a very powerful taser, so don't get cocky, Naruto said as he pulled a bigger blaster off his back and pumped it ready to fire it at the blob before an explosion from a nearby console went off next to him and sent his aim off as his large laser blast incinerated a wall. Thanks for the escape hatch, boys. The ink blob said as it slithered on out the hole. DMN it. Terry groaned as he stood up. She sounded like a chick. Hey, I bet she's hot in a human form, Naruto said as he looked at his arm which had been knocked loose from its socket from the explosion. God damn it, Naruto sighed as he popped his shoulder back into place with his other hand. She thrashed us and you want to F it? Terry deadpanned. Not yet, for all I know she's a butterface, Naruto said. A what? Terry asked, not recognizing this term. A face only a mother could love. And sometimes not even then, Bruce said through the comm. Ah, hot body, demon face, got it, Terry said. They then heard what sounded like sirens approaching the area. Grab a sample of her and get out of there, Bruce told them. Copy that, Terry said as he grabbed a piece of the ink left behind from her attacks and bagged it before he and Naruto left immediately. Batcave. Man, you have a lot of stupid SHT in this place, Naruto said as he looked at a giant freaking coin. While Bruce was at his computer. They're mementos from past cases. Bruce said as Naruto was looking at the stuff around the Batcave while Terry stood next to Bruce. You have Harley Quinn's old outfits. I need them for reasons, Naruto asked. You, Terry said. Not that, you moron. The twins want to base their hero outfits on something that their nana used. Although. Naruto started to think. Don't finish that thought for both our sakes, Bruce said. The twins want to be heroes? Terry asked with a raised eyebrow. To be fair, I think they just want to punch people without being gang members, Naruto shrugged as he knew they mainly got bored quickly. Keep them in line, Bruce ordered. You mean like how you kept the Robins and Batgirl in line? I mean, how did that go for you, old man? Naruto rolled his eyes. Bruce actually spun in his chair and glared at Naruto for that remark. Oh, scary. Touched a nerve? He asked with a smirk. Naruto, Terry said with a shake of his head. Fine, I'll lay off for now since I need the old man to help me with a project later. Is that Mr. Freeze's gun? Naruto said with excitement in his eyes as he placed his face against a glass display which had a gun in it. Don't touch the glass, Bruce said as he turned back to the computer to analyze the results. God, you're such a buzzkill, Naruto said as he turned away from the gun. And you're a pervert, Terry said with a flat tone. And if Dana walked around wearing a Harley Quinn or Poison Ivy outfit? Naruto asked deadpan. I would throw her on the floor and, hey. Terry yelled. Too easy. Naruto said as he looked at the glass cases containing the previous Robin outfits and Batgirl's old outfit. His eyes lingered on one particular Robin outfit. Jason Todd's old Robin suit. Naruto placed a hand on the glass thinking of his old mentor. If you want something of his you can take it, Bruce said. No. He would want this here with you. Besides, he gave me everything I have. I don't need something I wasn't even alive for. Besides, the tights don't suit me. Naruto said as he looked over at his suit and the brown leather jacket he wore as a civilian. The same one Jason used as Red Hood in his debut as the Red Hood. Any luck with the sample? Naruto asked as he turned away from the glass case. It'll probably take me the rest of the night to examine. You two should head home. I'll contact you as soon as I know. Good, the twins are probably antsy and need some DSPLN, Naruto said with a grin. Actually, can you give me a ride home, man, before you go? DSPLN your girlfriends? Terry asked as he used the suit to fly here. Yeah, sure. Hope you don't mind riding me on a motorcycle, Naruto said. Okay, but I'm not joining your HRM, Terry said with a flat tone. And now I may vomit, Naruto said with a green face and a shudder. Bruce chuckled a little at this as the two teens left. I'm giving Terry a bonus for that burn. McGinnis family apartment. I'm home, Mom. Terry called out as he entered the apartment with Naruto behind him. Terry. It's late. Where have you been? His mother asked as it was about 2 a.m. She had come from her room at his call wearing a black night robe. Schwing. Naruto thought, seeing the red-headed bombshell that he had saved as his first ever crime stopped as Red Hood. Getting an actual look at her, she had E-cup melons, a thin but curvy body, and a plump peach. Sorry, Mr. Wayne had me do some errands for him and it took longer than we planned, Terry said sheepishly. And who's this? Mary McGinnis asked after seeing Naruto behind Terry. Oh, this is my friend Naruto. He also works for Mr. Wayne and gave me a ride, Terry said as he introduced his friend to his mom. Nice to meet you, ma'am, Naruto said pleasantly. Nice to meet you. I'm Mary McGinnis. Thank you for bringing my son home. It's strange, but for some reason your voice sounds familiar, she said with a hand on her chin in thought. Well, I gotta go later, Terry. Nice to meet you, ma'am, Naruto said as he quickly left the apartment. I like him. He seems nice, Mary said, and cute, she thought. The next night at Foxtica. I swear to God if my mom figures out your identity 'cause you were too lazy to put in a voice changer, Terry told Naruto as they were staking out another Foxtica building. Hey, you don't use one either. Naruto yelled at the Neo Batman. I can deepen my voice easily, Terry defended himself. Before the two stood in silence. So how'd studying with Max go this afternoon? Terry asked. Pretty well actually, she's a good teacher, Naruto said as him and the twins learned quite a bit from her study session. Gonna try and sleep with her too? Terry asked deadpan. Only if she's cool with it. I don't want to force any woman into anything, Naruto said. So the fact the twins are hinting at her means nothing? Terry asked. Relax, they are harmless, plus they like Max, so they won't do anything to hurt her. Naruto told him. If you say so, just don't hurt her, she's a friend, Terry said. Wouldn't dream of it even in my nightmares, Naruto said seriously before seeing movement. She's back, Naruto said as he pulled out an old-school revolver. You sure those things will work? Terry asked. Trust me, I know weapons, Naruto said as he loaded his guns with some special ammo. Flashback before stakeout. After Bruce contacted them with the info about their ink blob, Naruto requested Terry to stop by his apartment base before they headed to the Batcave. What are these? Terry asked, examining Naruto's ammo. Cryo bullets, Jason developed them after so many run-ins with Clayface. Since ink is pretty much the same as he was, there will help freeze her right in her place. Naruto said, working on his bullets. Wow, that's pretty smart. I thought Red Hood was all shoot first and worry about the villains later. Terry said. Well, over time he learned not all of them were scumbags. Besides, it helps to be prepared when you're dealing with your enemies. Naruto said, loading the bullets into his revolver. Flashback end. Naruto jumped down in front of the ink blob and spun his revolver. Ready to duel with the devil in the pale moonlight? He asked the ink blob. Really? Batman, Bruce Viacom, and the ink blob asked simultaneously deadpan. You all SCK. But I digress, let's see if you bleed, blob. Naruto said as he pointed his revolver at the blob. The name's Ink. And you're both costing me money, she said. Oh yeah, you're a merc, right? Naruto asked. What's it to you? Have a job for me? Ink asked as her ink arm tendrils formed into blades. Sorry, I don't believe in paying criminals, Naruto said before sending a bullet at her which she let absorb into her shoulder. This is just sad, Ink said before suddenly screaming as her shoulder suddenly turned to ice. I think ahead. Plus I know you're weak to water after I took a look at your ink, Naruto said as he then sent another cryo bullet at her which she dodged. You're a clever one, aren't you? Ink yelled as she dodged the bullet, but not clever enough. She said as she started to slink away despite her frozen shoulder. Oh no you don't, Terry yelled before sending a batarang at her. One enhanced by his suit causing a taser-like batarang. Ag! Where do you idiots get these gadgets? She yelled in pain. We get them from George. George MC, go F yourself. Naruto told her smugly before firing another cryo bullet at her as she spasmed. Directly into her chest. This caused her to completely freeze in place into an ice statue of sorts. Yo, we got her, Terry spoke into his comm seeing Ink fully frozen. Good, leave her at the GCPD, Bruce said. With what? Terry asked. Suddenly they heard a flying vehicle approach from above them. Oh come on. That's such bullshit. You can already fly. Why do you need a damned car? Naruto yelled jealous. Batman needs a Batmobile, Bruce said simply. Okay, the second we're done here I'm making my own vehicle and you're helping old man, so help me God. Naruto yelled into his comm. You sure you want to start a war with the old man? Terry asked his partner. Please, I'm not scared of that gargoyle, Naruto grumbled as he helped Terry load up Ink on the Batmobile. Your comm is still on, Bruce said nonchalantly. Oh, I know you old gargoyle, Naruto smirked. I'd say it to your face and you know it, Naruto told him. You know he signs our paychecks, right? Terry asked as he sat in the driver's seat while Naruto sat in the passenger seat. Bah. Just drop me off at home so I can do something fun, Naruto waved him off. Whatever you say, Terry shrugged as the Batmobile took off through the city. Batcave. Bruce sat at the computer and sighed as he knew what he had to do next. He made a call. Gotham City Police Department. What can I do help you with? A secretary asked. Can you transfer me to Commissioner Barbara Gordon? It's in regards to a case she's working, Bruce asked. Right away, the secretary acquiesced. A few moments later the phone was connected. Hello? A gruff female voice asked. Been a while, Commissioner. Thought I'd let you know you have a little gift incoming at GCPD, Bruce said simply. A few moments later he heard the female voice sigh. DMN it, Bruce, I should have known the new bat and hood were with you, Barbara said bitterly. Well, more the bat than the hood, Bruce admitted. Your hood is just lucky I haven't gone after him since the mayor is fine with dead criminals since he hasn't gone after any that wouldn't already get the death penalty, Barbara told him seriously, but you and Jason both should know better to let the past die, Barbara said. Jason is dead and his new protege isn't gonna listen, Bruce said. I see. Regardless, I'll let them operate for now, but the second they step out of line I'll take them and you down, Barbara said seriously before hanging up. Bruce sighed at this before he heard his phone ring. What Uzumaki? He asked. Tell that wall-hitting bee if she tries threatening me I'll out her as Batgirl. Naruto bellowed into the phone. You put a listening device under the Bat computer. I didn't even notice it. Impressive, Bruce complimented as he didn't expect Naruto to try listening in on his conversations immediately since he was willingly working with them. High praise from the Bat. I'll take it. Just keep her out of my way and we'll all be just fine. Naruto said before he hung up. Naruto's apartment the next day. Naruto woke up from his night's sleep getting ready for school with his girlfriends before getting a call from Bruce. After school, suit up. Ink is demanding to see you at GCPD. The commissioner isn't allowing it, but I want you to see what she wants, Bruce said. Will do, but I swear if that bee runs her dash, Naruto was saying before Bruce hung up on him. Naruto scowled at this before he called Bruce and after a few rings, "B, did you hang up on me?" he yelled before Bruce hung up again. Mr. N, we're sleeping, Delia whined from next to Naruto. Yeah, you were so rough with us last night, we need sleep, Deirdre whined from Naruto's other side. Sorry girls, but we have to get to school, Naruto told them apologetically. We ain't doing nothing unless you give us a reason to get out of bed, Puddin, Delia said wanting to go back to sleep. If you two go I'll ask Max out on a date, Naruto said with a smirk knowing the twins had made friends with Max. Why are you still undressed, Mr. N? We have school to get to. Deirdre yelled, now immediately fully clothed along with her sister as they were running around grabbing their things. Are you two sure you don't have powers? Naruto asked bewildered. Nope, now get dressed, we want a new playmate, DMN it. Delia yelled. Naruto chuckled as he got dressed. So alright folks, that's all for today. Stay tuned for part 2. Do subscribe, like and share for more such videos. Also check out the story and author KFB Anime 87 on fanfiction.net. Press the bell icon to be notified first on release. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.